I don't get it.
Nor do I, Manuel. Not yet.
Not picking that up. I'd put on a hand shadow show, but the mood just doesn't feel right. It's a slide projector.
There's some concept art there in the PowerPoint.
Yeah, because I remember, I just took Peter's stuff and like inverted it to make it look like a plan.
Oh, really? You took someone else's textures and reused them.
Great artist borrow. No, wait. Good artist steal. Yeah.
Manuel, I was looking at that.
I think Salvador would get upset. This computer shut off.
We salvaged that unit when the company threw it away, but we have yet to get it working. When we do, we'll need you to get us into the system.
I'll be long gone before then.
We'll see, Manuel.
Not portable. This computer shut off. Where does this go?
To a secret tunnel out of the city, but it opens for members of the LSA only.
It won't budge.
It opens for members of the LSA only.
It won't.
It opens for members of the LSA only.
Oh, the secretary has a dual identity. It's always lots of fun. Always lots of fun with dual identities.
Yeah.
I like that Eva gets to have a little, she's got more going on than you thought she did.
I love that too, and I like that there's something fishy in the Department of Death too. That's a good twist.
It's my boss's secretary's evil twin.
Just me, honey.
So you're not really a secretary?
I'm a spy, Manny.
Well, that's the last time we used that temp agency. Any messages for me?
Yes. Join or die.
But I'm already...
Again!
Eva, you gotta get me out of town. They're gonna sprout me.
You can't leave, Manny. We need access to the DoD computer network if we're ever gonna find out what's going on. And we can't access without a salesman like you. The computer IDs you when you log on.
How does it do that? Fingerprints? I don't have any.
Your teeth, Manny. Haven't you ever noticed your computer scanning your teeth when you log on?
I thought that was just a power search.
We need your teeth, Manny. We can't let you go. Sorry.
Doesn't Cabal wonder where you are?
Don and Domino were both locked up in Don's office with some bigwig from downtown. Some fatty in a fez.
Who is the fat man, I wonder? And how does he fit into this sinister puzzle?
How long have you been a spy?
Salvador recruited me about a year ago. I couldn't resist him. He's just so noble.
What are you working on there?
I'm trying to get this radio working so we can use it in the field, but it looks pretty hopeless. Salvador's right. We need good old-fashioned homing pigeons to communicate with our field agents.
You have field agents?
No, it's just Sal and me right now. But someday, Manny.
So, you won't help me out of here?
Sorry. I'll help you out, but not your teeth. Think it over.
Why won't you help me out?
I need your teeth, remember?
Why won't...
I need your...
Salvador seems to be concentrating. Okay, I'm in. What do I have to do?
I'm going to build an underground army of souls to fight the injustice I have seen in El Marro. Communication will become vital as the Lost Souls Alliance spreads out. We'll need messengers we can trust.
Do you know something I don't know?
Have you ever wondered why your clients, even your best clients, never seem to qualify for the packages you know they deserve?
Yes. My last client in particular, Meche.
Well, they all did qualify, Manuel. Especially her. But somehow, somebody with access to the files has stolen their just rewards. Their sweet hereafters.
Their tickets on the number 9?
Precisamente, amigo.
What would they do with the tickets?
A ticket on the number 9 is like a leaf of gold, Manuel. Especially to one who has died with a less than perfect record. Someone is profiting here from those that would buy their way into heaven.
But money's not important here. We all just want out.
You want to get out, Manuel. And so do I someday. But for some people, this world is all there is. They have decided to seek pleasure and happiness here in the 8th underworld. And for that, you need money.
You want me to be your messenger?
No, Manuel. Our numbers are small and our agents are too valuable to risk that sort of work. History shows only one messenger to be of use to a cause like ours. Carrier pigeons.
If I grab some pigeons off the roof, will you let me go?
No, I need to raise them from birth, Agent Calavera. I need you to bring me their eggs.
You're keeping me here because you need the eggs?
Why are you still here, Calavera? Go get me an Air Force before it hatches. Now that's all the briefing you need, soldier. Viva la revolución!
Have you thought about using messages tied to balloons? I can get you plenty of balloons.
Pigeons, Manuel. Bring me their eggs.
Pues, okay.
Viva la revolución!
Have you thought of...
Viva la revolución!
It won't budge.
It opens for members of the LSA only.
What did they do with Glottis? It looks like it dispenses something called Philodent. It's locked. Ooh, I might get hurt if I... Ha! Regular cars. I might get hurt if I try to get one down by myself. I'm not going upstairs. I want him to think I'm still locked in the shop. It's locked. The drapes are drawn. Dom and Don must still be in there. No use for it. Not picking that up. Dom's office is empty. Aha. There's nobody in Domino's office. Not picking that up. There's something glowing in there. It looks like a glowing hunk of coral. Doesn't do much but glow. Nothing else in there. He's got a lock on it. I can't believe he doesn't trust me. I'm gonna try to guess his password. Nope. It's not Golden Boy. I'm gonna try to guess his password. And it's not Mr. D either. So much for Dommy. Arrogant fraud doesn't work. Whew, I was scared it might be Eva. Well, he likes boxing too, but that ain't it. Not greed. Not vanity. Not sleaze. I give up. I give up. attach pretty well. It's Domino's mouthpiece. Ugh, Domino had this in his mouth. Ugh, well, now I know what Domino tastes like. Ugh, well, now I know what Domino tastes like. I don't feel like pitching cards right now. It's Domino's mouthpiece. Why am I carrying this around? Congratulations, Domino, on your new job, Hector. I wonder if that's how Domino meant it to be used. I wonder if that's how Domino meant it to be used. You'd have to be crazy to climb on that.
I used to work at a doctor's office, and one of the jobs that I was doing, just terrible jobs there, and one of them was the roof was covered in like 6 inches of pigeon guano up there. They had a flat roof, like the roof of this building, and they're like, look, we got to get that stuff off the roof. It's going to break the roof. There's so much pigeon crap on the roof. And I had to go up there with like this flat shovel and cut. It was kind of like cutting brownies out of a pan.
Yeah.
I was just chopping up the bird poop and just scooping it up and throwing it off the roof. And but in chopping it up, I occasionally find like in sedimentary rock, like an archaeologist or a paleontologist, I would find the bones of a dead pigeon just inside this weird brownie of guano on the roof.
Wow.
So I had my fair share of bad jobs.
So this was really a kind of therapy to get that.
Yeah, but really, there's not enough
experience.
poop on the roof to make this really.
Well, it's hard to indicate that with the technology of the time. Kind of just like if you did wind in a 8-bit game, it just sounded like it just sounded bad, you know.
At least I got to clear the pigeons from the roof of my memories.
Hey! I don't like the looks of those pigeons. I don't have a net or a desire to have a pet pigeon. Shoot! The pigeons obviously like this dish vent. It's part of the roof. I prefer to eat out of clean dishes that aren't nailed to the roof. Maybe that will scare them. Eventually. lousy little lech peckers. So that's where the vermin come from. You must come with me, young ones, for I am the Grim Reaper. I only eat them poached. Man, are those pigeons gonna be ticked. Man, are those pigeons gonna be ticked. These babies are going to war. Fill a dent. Good for dents, great for dentures. Wow, that made a perfect impression of my teeth and left quite a chalky aftertaste too. Yep, a perfect fit. Agent Calavera and 2 guests. Check these babies out.
Excellent, Manuel. With these, I can breed an entire army of winged messengers. Our revolution can spread now across the land, carried on the shimmering wings of justice, thanks to you, Agent Calavera.
I myself would also like to spread across the land.
But you can't. We need your dental work here to access the computer. I am sorry, but freedom has its price.
Look, you got the...
Sorry, but your teeth. ¡Viva la revolución!
Manny, this looks like a perfect impression of your teeth. We can use this as a mold to make a fake set of teeth and get into the computer system that way.
Good work, soldier. You are a friend of the revolution, Agent Calavera. And now, let me be of service to you.
You must go to the town of Rubacaba, my friend, if you want to find your lost soul. How do you know where she is?
I don't, but everyone who wants to get to the ninth underworld must cross the Sea of Lament, and therefore must go to Rubacaba to get passage on a ship. As long as you get there before she does, you'll find her. But it may be quite a wait.
I'll wait as long as it takes.
Manuel, are you in love with her?
Love? Love is for the living, Sal. I'm only after her for one reason. She's my ticket out of here. That was some tunnel. I'm all the way to the edge of the petrified forest.
That line right there, love is for the living. I'm only after her for one reason. She's my ticket out of here. That was the key line that Tony and I would always go back to that kind of identified who that character was. The idea with Manny being a Hispanic Humphrey Bogart, that line evoked Casablanca in many ways, and that was kind of just we worked on that line more longer than we should have, but it was just one of those that we just felt was important to kind of nail and help define Manny.
and you could see Pete's musical treatment of it. He kind of suspended the music and had this little classical guitar melody that had a feeling of being like a pocket in time to further highlight that line.
Right.
Yeah.
That Salvador really knows how to do this espionage thing with style. After all I did to get out of town, I am never going back to that place again. At least not without Meche. Not picking that up. Ah, El Maro. My hometown. May I never see it again. Not picking that up. Not going back there for a while. Glottis, my friend, why are you crying?
Manny? Oh, Manny! They fired me!
Me too, buddy.
You don't understand, Manny. I was created just to do that job. It's the only thing that makes me happy. It's like they reached into my chest and pulled out my heart and threw it into the woods to...
Glottis, what have you done? Oh, Glottis.
I always like Glottis because he's just so pure in his... I mean, he's by definition pure in that he's just the spirit of driving, kind of. Like, he was summoned from the land itself, and he has nothing but a desire to drive and go fast, and all his motivations are about, like, moving at high speed. He almost dies because he's going too slow at some point, and he has to go fast again to come back to life.
Right.
But he also obviously cares about friendship and Manny, and he's a very loyal character.
This signpost seems to be pointing the way to Rubacava. It's too well anchored. It's too well anchored. I wonder how long he can live with that heart. Wake up, buddy. Wake up, buddy. Oh, no. Ooh, ick. Shoot!
This is me playing with my own worst fears. I was realizing while we're making this game, I just randomly was thinking about how nice it is that spiders can't fly. You know, with spiders are kind of icky, but they're on the wall. You can stay away from them. Don't go in the garage. Don't get firewood ever. You can stay away from spiders, but what if they could fly? What if you had to, instead of like a bee buzzing around you or something, you had to worry about like there's a black widow. Like, wouldn't that be creepy? So we made flying spiders in the game. I always...
These spiders have Glottis' heart in their web. It's stuck in there good. It's stuck in there good. These spiders have Glottis' heart in their web. It's an ugly pile of bones. Like me, I guess I could always use a spare. I like to save bones for special occasions. My scythe. I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be. Piece of cake. Hi, Chihuahua. Don't think that's gonna work. Warning. Fire system. Do not touch. Ooh, something has sucked the marrow out. That's not on fire. That's not on fire. Soup's on. Huh, they don't seem very interested in that bone I put in there. Oh, poor spiders. No more demon heart to eat. I'm not getting my hands tangled up in that. I like to save bones for special occasions. It's still beating. If I were Scottish, I might be able to play something on it. But I'm not. This heart belongs to Glottis. Nowhere else. This heart belongs to Glottis. Nowhere else.
Heart! Heart is good. Be good to heart. Don't tear out heart. Heart is good. Strong, beating, good heart. Hey, is that my car?
Mr. Limones, I assure you the missing woman will be found. I will personally track her down myself.
Just like you personally picked her up from the land of the living?
That was my intention, but Agent Calavera somehow got to her first.
We gave you the fastest car, Domino. We gave you all the best clients. You had all the advantages. So how was this Calavera able to sneak in there and eat your lunch? Oh, now, Hector, you can't get too mad at Domino. That wasn't his fault. Oh, I can, Don. You should know I can get too mad. But not at Domino. After all, he wasn't in charge of this operation. At least, not until now. Hector, no! Marigolds. Funny. For some reason, I was expecting tulips. Well, maybe Mr. Calavera, eh, Domino? Why don't you personally go down to the basement and escort him up here? The sooner he's sprouted and we can get back to business, the better.
Wanna go for a ride?
I thought you'd never ask!
Coined a phrase called McConnellian ambience, and meaning Pete McConnell. His style of ambience, where you have a little idea and then a completely different idea, and then a completely different idea, just sort of sequenced. And the texture would get kind of big, and then it would get very small with a solo clarinet, and then something completely different would happen, and then you'd get a little bassoon. And so these ideas would waft in and out like clouds or just passing notions. And it's a great way to keep the listener entertained but not get in his way. And so we termed that a Machiavellian approach to ambience.
Out of the way!
I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do that. Not right now. Not here. That's no way to treat the bone wagon. Not here. That's no way to treat the bone wagon. This signpost seems to be pointing the way to Rubacava.
What are you doing?
Hey, don't sneak up on me like that.
Don't you know what's on the other side of that gate?
Yeah, the way out of the forest.
Demon beavers, Manny. They'll make you into a dam.
Relax, Geppetto. I'm not made of wood.
But Manny, they don't use wood.
Big old padlock on this.
This one was
How could you ever cut this?
I know, but programmatically it was buggy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was hard. No one understood like how to solve this puzzle for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, look, you got to pick something, and we hadn't started it yet. And so this is a classic Tim technique. When you want to cut something, he will start putting it in the game.
Yeah.
So that everything gets in. So, yeah, funny.
I couldn't take that off with my bare hands. If only I hadn't thrown away that little hand exerciser Domino got me for Secret Santa. I couldn't take that off with my bare hands. I don't want to mess up my blade. My scythe. I like to keep it next to where my heart used to be. That's not on fire.
I still remember writing a big justification about tank controls when I was pitching this. People were like, let's make it so the controls are more like Mario, where you push it. No, point and click. I was thinking tank controls I thought were superior to point and click at the time, because when you're pointing and clicking, you're distant from the screen, and the screen is this other thing that you're interacting with at your fingertips.
Right.
But when you're doing tank controls, you feel like you are in the center of the character.
Right.
And the world is rotating. The world's rotating around you. And so when you think, instead of going, I want to go on the left of the screen or I want to go to the right of the screen, you're saying, I want to look at the thing to the left of me and the thing to the right of me. Mm-hmm. And now, I don't know if that was necessarily the right decision, but it's a good piece of evidence that you can sometimes make a really good argument for the wrong decision, and that's something to watch out for in life. You know what I mean? Like, you can make a really compelling, and in fact, win an argument.
Oh, yeah.
And be totally wrong.
Winning an argument has nothing to do with being right, that's for sure.
Exactly. It's just being able to make a good case.
this scene actually, this is the beavers here, another good example of like, why you have to have coroutines in games, because or at least in adventure games, you have to have like a script that just says, how's this beaver going to behave? What's he going to do? And at the time that people were making games, the scripting languages weren't popular yet. You had a lot of games in C, and somebody would have been trying to write in their game engine, in their game loop, and go run the beavers now. And in a scene like this, you had to be able to take that and say, this is how a beaver behaves. Right now, I'm thinking like a beaver. How would a beaver? He's going to crawl over here, and he's going to chew on these things, and then he'll get tired, and then he'll jump over here. The same thing with the pigeons and anything else. And that, again, it's like I didn't have to think about the fact that they were needed. They were obviously needed. I mean, that's one of the things that Scump had made very obvious. Like, you cannot make adventure games without coroutines. They didn't even call them coroutines, though. I mean, we didn't even know what to call them for a long time until,
Threads.
They were just threads, yeah. And actually, that was one of the early experiments. I actually tried to use actual Windows threads, because this is a Windows game. It wasn't a DOS game. This is a Windows game. We can use actual threads. And I initially did try and actually have different Lua threads, and it was just so heavyweight. Machines are so tight, and it was so much overhead, and it was so complex. And it was like, no, we need something lightweight. It needs to be really focused on what the game does.
How could I leave without... Okay, I don't know what those weird noises are, but I think I'd rather go find out in the safety of the bone wagon.
Well, this is the area that Tim and I would make a lot of jokes about because, producer type person, I need to shorten the game, cut it somehow. So this area, I would, say, hey, we need to cut the beavers. Does that make sense?
He's like, no way, not cutting it.
Oh, well, the whole time we'd fight about it, and it was that one kind of thing where that was the story I told a little earlier about the ship.
Yeah.
And he said, Leslie, a game is like a ship, and the ship is going, and it's going to keep going until it stops. And I was like, what kind of logic is that? It has to finish at some point. So I was like, look, the beavers got to go, and they'd always be on the list. And he actually drew me a little pictures on a napkin of like the armadillo, the beavers on fire. And he's like, why did you cut me, Leslie? Please don't cut me, Leslie. And he would just poke me.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a second. Loteria.
This is like a callback to those brave young men and their jaunty jalopies. You ever seen that movie? Those outrageous young men, their flying machines.
Oh, that I remember.
There are these two crazy movies from the 60s, which were all about, it was kind of like the Wacky Races, but a real-life version.
Magnificent. Their flying machines.
And it was like one of those movies, it was kind of like Wild, Wild, Wild World or whatever. Like
it's a Mad
World, where all these people are chasing some crazy prize, but the cars in it always had things like that. I think that is a direct lift. Like one of the cars would have these hydraulic shocks that lifted up or just crazy extending things.
Right.
Looks like some sort of warning sign. They'll tear you apart bone by bone and build with you a human throne. Their buck-toothed king will sit upon what once was you, but now is gone. This key unlocks the gates of hell. Steady traveler, use it well. Can't pass up an old creepy key. Doesn't do much by itself. I'll leave the sign here to warn others. They'll tear you and their buck with this key. Steady traveler, use it well. I'll leave the sign here to warn others. It's the key to the gates of hell, I seem to recall. With those monsters on the other side, I'm happier with this thing locked. With those monsters on the other side, I'm happier with this thing locked. Doesn't do much by itself. What sort of unholy Christmas tree farm is this, Glottis? Glottis?
Manny, check out this wheelbarrow, will ya? With a couple of ATV nubby tires on the back and a two-stroke lawnmower engine, we could make one sweet go-kart.
Some of the things that we came up with for this game, like the Petrified Forest. Well, Petrified Forest is right out of a Bogart movie, right? And that's coming from the name of a Bogart movie.
And he's actually a gangster.
He's a bad guy in it, yeah. But having these little things pumping it, I don't know where this came up with. Like, I feel like in games now we try to make things kind of make sense. Like, you go to a gas station, something you know that exists. But here, it's a weird hydraulic pump factory with a counterweight on top of it for sucking something out of the marrow out of these trees.
Oh, right.
But this it was all worth it because it was satisfying to see Glottis spin around on the top of it.
I like the environmental message myself.
I'd climb it myself, but I don't want to take all the fun away from Glottis. Not picking that up. He looks much better with his heart not ripped out. Glottis, what are they doing to that tree?
Oh, city boy! You work all day in a 60-story skyscraper, but didn't you ever wonder what it was made of? The marrow of these trees, man. They suck it out. It's like cement.
Is that why the town's called El Marro?
Huh? Never thought of that. Maybe so.
This place gives me...
I'm ready.
This place... That would make a decent go-kart. Switches up.
I remember in this room, as in several others, Julian, we used a sound ambience that we recorded using a contact microphone on various machines, like Coke machines, and other vibrating devices or machine-like devices that produces a kind of interesting hum. And if you put your ear up against a Coke machine, or I was just on the Golden Gate Bridge last week and I stuck my ear up against one of those, 300, 200 foot pylons, and it's amazing the resonances that are going on in those type of resonant bodies. And we would record things like that and turn them into ambiences for some of the rooms.
Ooh, careful, Manny! With the harmonic balancer turned off, those pumps might shake that tree apart. Oh! If we shook the tree down, those pumps would dislodge, and I could make high-lift shocks out of them for the bone wagon. Hold on. I'm going to unbalance that wheel with some of these weights. That'll shake her down for sure. Okay, just give me a second to balance these doggies.
The switch is down.
That should do it.
Still not enough.
And maybe if I moved them around a little. Hey, while you have that off, let me try moving those weights around some more. Okay, just give me a second to balance these doggies. Hey, Manny! What are you doing?
Outside of the entertainment value, that didn't do what I had hoped.
Until now, we scraped along the ground like rats. But from now on, we soar. Like eagles. Like eagles on pogo sticks!
What a relief. I was getting concerned that our transportation wasn't ostentatious enough.
Get in! Or are you afraid of heights?
Those monsters on the other side, that doesn't look like the gates of hell to me. I like to save bones for special occasions. That road leads out of the forest, I'm sure. Come on, Glottis. Let's crash through this gate and drive right over those little monsters.
No way, Manny. Oh, those flaming bone beavers are mean. They bite, they claw, and if one of them wrapped around my drive shaft, I'd be picking flaming hunks of fur out of my U-joint for months. I'm not going down there until you get rid of them. I ain't driving back to town, Manny.
Monsters have made a dam out of human bones. I'll just drop this one. I'm carrying around too many of those already.
we were like, what is the fire? What is the flame source for the beavers? And they're like, well, they have a nuclear core. They have a nuclear core, so they're thermonuclear flaming bone beavers.
Yeah, you know, I have to say, flaming bone beavers. I mean,
you would think that would be
what does that
controversial.
remind you of?
A band name?
Maybe, yeah.
No place for a bone there. This river seems to be made of tar, but those beavers just seem to cut through it like water. No, I don't think I could swim a single stroke in that tar. That road leads out of the forest, I'm sure. But I don't think I'd get very far on foot. Plus, how could I leave without Glottis? Okay, the beasts of Black River are blowing bubbles at the bottom, so let's power on through, huh, Glot?
Manny, look at that badass gate. I can't drive through that. We have to find the key.
Híjole. This outer gate is huge. I'll need Glottis to open it.
Manny, I don't know if I like driving over people.
They can't feel it, they're dead.
You're dead. I wouldn't want to drive over you.
That's because you and I, Glottis, are friends.
Aw, Manny. Hello? Miss Colomar! We're here to save you!
Hey, lay off the racket. The whole town's asleep.
But I want a drag race! When they get a load of my car, we're gonna be the talk of the town!
You're right. We're gonna have to find a good place to hide that road show.
Speaking of hiding, I wonder if Meche is here already. I'm gonna go see what I can stir up. Not a bad piece of real estate, actually. It's got potential.
watch your step around here, stranger. Rubicab ain't the quaint little port town she used to be. Well, hell, looks like there's a new vessel in town. Pardon me whilst I go check her out.
I think I'll wait for the fog to clear before I try exploring town again.
Well, actually, it's mostly stock with a few mods here and there. So, would those be glass packs I'm hearing, or turbos?
I really wanted to have this moment of Lasco bonding with Glottis, and that, like through the magic of cars and talking about engines and stuff. And cars bring people together, talking about engines.
Was
because I never had sports.
Internal combustion.
I never liked sports. I was not into the manly unifier of sports. But
me neither.
But cars you can talk about with the toughest of dudes.
That's true. That's true.
I wish Glottis would hide that thing. Glottis, you gotta hide that car.
In a minute, Manny. I'm talking to Mr. Darkmaster here.
Glottis, I've always wanted one of those jackets.
There was this one high-pitched whine it was making, really grating noise, you know? And I searched and searched, but I couldn't find the source of the noise until we pulled in here. Was it the blower? No, it was Manny screaming in the back like a cat tied to a cruise missile. That's a good one.
Hola.
Hey, Manny, Dockmaster Velasco here says he's got a place we can dry dock the bone wagon for a while.
Oh, yeah. We can't leave a beauty like this out in the fog, or her chrome will get pitted.
Pitted? Did you hear that, Manny?
You folks gonna stay in Rubicava for a spell?
We're here looking for a woman named Mercedes Colomar.
I'm not too good with names. Did she have any distinguishing marks or a tattoo?
Not that she showed me.
Well, like I said, I'm as good with names as you are with the fog.
I might be here a while. Is there any work in this town?
Well, there's lots of work down at the docks, but it's all union work. And I just don't see you in that union.
How do you get around here with all the mist?
When you've strolled these docks as long as I have, Pilgrim, you know where you are by the smell of the sea, by the sound of the lonely foghorn, by the icy touch of the cold, salty air.
Wow! Manny, could I have an eye patch?
Can I just ask, what is under the eye patch? Because I know it's not an eye.
Oh, well, when I was alive, I had an eye patch like this. This one's just for the phantom pain. And that one eye socket used to scream like a banshee when the trade winds blew, so I plugged her.
Hey, Manny, we were in the middle of a conversation here.
Hey, okay.
The character Celso is played by a really funny actor called Peter Lurie, and when he came into the studio on the first day, he had this real look of apprehension about him, and it turned out the word in Hollywood was that Grim Fandango was code name for Star Wars Episode 1 casting. So when he was coming in for the project, people were telling him, "You're going to be going in, and George Lucas is going to be there, and they're going to be flying you up to the ranch," and he was terribly disappointed when he walked in, and the only person in the studio was me.
This guy looks familiar. Mr. Flores, I'm ready to take you now.
Manny Calavera, is that you? Didn't you used to be taller?
I'm here to reclaim that walking stick.
I broke it over the head of some hideous monsters in the forest.
I'm looking for a woman named Mercedes Colomar.
Well, no one's come through town by that name, and you can take it from me. I, too, am looking for someone, so I watch the comings and goings around here very carefully.
Who are you looking for?
Well, if you must know, it's about my wife. I got word that she passed away not long after I, and that she too was crossing the land of the dead on foot. It is said that all lost souls come to Rubacava, so I came here to wait for her.
You must love her very much, Celso.
Yes, this is true. Of course, she also has all of my money.
How do you know your wife hasn't gone ahead of you?
Oh, Manny, if she had arrived here first, surely she would have waited for me.
I'll help you find your wife. What did she look like?
Oh, here, I got this from the DOD and made copies to hand out. Isn't she something?
She must have been beautiful with skin.
Weren't we all?
So, know a good place to stay in town?
What's your price range?
Somewhere around the high end of nothing.
Then maybe, young man, it's time you started thinking about a job.
Can you give me a job here?
Have any skills?
Sales?
Well, that does qualify you for a certain position, but we only have one mop. I'm sorry, Manuel. I've got to get this place ready to open.
Right. I'll let you know if I see your wife.
She'll be the one asking for her beloved Celso.
Are you sure?
There's only...
Celso's wife. Actually, I don't think skin would help. Ever seen this woman?
Oh, if this is the woman you're looking for, take my advice. Forget about her. She sailed out of here weeks ago in a cozy portside cabin built for two, and she wasn't alone.
How do you know she sailed out of here? I don't believe it.
It's a tough break, Junior, but you gotta face it. Here, look it up in my port log if you want it in writing. 6 weeks ago on a Tuesday. Ticket for two, paid in full. I cracked the champagne on the bow myself.
Hey, Manny, we were in the middle of a conversation here.
Hey, okay.
Look, I know how you feel, son. Once I lost a very special lady myself. I waved to her from the docks as she sailed out of port, and I never saw her again.
What was her name?
The SS La Mancha was her name, but don't make me talk about her, because I just can't do it.
You sure a woman named Mercedes Col...
She might have. I told you the first time.
Velasco's logbook says Celso's wife took a bunk with a hunk. How about in the...
That's the boss's office. You can...
I could sleep out here on the counter.
Our customers may all be dead, Manny, but we still care about hygiene.
I love the tiling floor. It's my favorite part in this film. And the fact that it's a automat, which was part of a period reference too. Like those ways that there used to be these restaurants in New York where you'd go, or big cities where you'd go in and the food was ready for you behind these little panels and you would just open the door and take it, which is an interesting way of serving stuff. Like just separate the server from the eater, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, that is, I never...
Like you don't want to see the wait staff, so they're behind this wall because of some weird social reason.
That is weird.
And they didn't really have automats anymore, but I always thought that's what was behind that.
It does seem a little impersonal, doesn't it?
All these doors have numbers and pictures of food on them. Hey, how do you open these?
You wait till we start serving. That's how.
Hey, how do you open these?
You wait till we start serving. That's how.
Celso, your wife sailed out of here 2 months ago with another man. It's all in there.
Oh, Manny, is there a greater constant in nature than the treachery of women?
Forget about her, Celso.
Have you forgotten yours? I'm going after her. You take over my job here. This mop at least will never let you down. That compass in the handle will sure come in handy too.
Hey, boss. You gonna come downstairs? I got a customer asking for you.
You know I don't like to mingle with the customers.
Well, you may want to mingle with this one. She sounds like your type.
Well, looks like a quiet night in old Rubacava.
And just the amount of research that went into all of this, because I just remember Tim going to every film noir movie ever, and we would just all the time there would be something to do, and he's like, want to go to the movies? And it was just, I mean, you can see it, the dark shadows, and then the music. I mean, everything is just so film noir and really pulls you in.
Yeah, I remember us all going to see Casablanca, and I think it was in the Castro Theater or something. It was one of those old San Francisco theaters. I forget which one it was, but it was the whole gang of us went. And
yeah, remember? Did you guys go to the Golden Gate Fields for the horse races? I know they weren't.
I wish
that was part of it, because I think there were some scenes around that, and that was just fun. I mean, just the research trips.
Yeah,
those were fun.
Lady Luck.
Le numéro gagnant, le 31, noir, entre les passes. 31, black.
So this is one of the parts in the game that was very inspired by Gilda. You ever seen Gilda? Like Rita Hayworth?
No.
It's a great noir movie. It's amazing, and it's the scene that you always see when they show Rita Hayworth, where she just flips her hair up and says, "Who, me?" So anyway, it's about it's set in a resort town where there's a casino, and the main character, there is the main character is working at a casino, and there is this kind of corrupt local law enforcement officer who shows up every night. And the way he gets paid off by the casino to start busted is that he always comes and bets on number 2 at a certain table, and then they always give him his money, and number 2 always wins and stuff. And so I think it's the same number in this game. We always use number 2.
Please.
So Tim created a character, which I very much appreciate. I love her. Her name is Lupe. and she happens to be a little bit based on me and my idiosyncrasies. And so when I remember one time we were hanging out, and he told me, he's like, see, how can you tell me that I don't understand our relationship? Like, I can write about it. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, see, she's super organized. Nobody listens to her, but she has a lot of really important things to say. And see, we need her, and that's what you realize.
That's awesome.
So I was like, oh, I love you. And she does karate kicks. That was the best, like, because I like to punch people. And so if you notice, sometimes, I don't know if they have it in here, but she punches in the air. She does air punches.
That's awesome. She was really easy to cast because I had such a great frame of reference for her.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
My wartime communications from Salvador. He's been sending me messages like this for the last year.
Agent Calavera, I have word that you arrived in Rubalcaba safely. This is great news, as your service to the LSA may now continue. I am pleased to report the successful hatching of the eggs you liberated. The hatchlings, which Eva has named Manny and Meche, are quite healthy and eager to serve our cause. With luck, my next letter will be borne to you across the sky by these young gossamer wings of truth. For the revolution, Salvador Limones.
I'm not done reading it yet, but maybe later.
Calavera, it is indeed a great day for the revolution. Say hola to little Manny, the first enlisted messenger to serve the LSA. Please feed him some breadcrumbs and send him back quickly, so we may know that our maiden flight was a success. Manuel, I am sorry to hear that you have not heard from your Meche. You must be patient and let your heart remain open. If it is meant to be, you will someday be reunited.
He still thinks I'm in love with her.
Manuel, we have found the head of the serpent. Using the computer access you provided us, we picked up a thread that led us to the man who corrupted the Department of Death. His name is Hector Lemans. Once a small-time racketeer, he has grown fat and powerful by robbing the newly dead. Watch out for the name Hector Lemans, Manuel. And be careful. Dear friend, our movement now has true momentum, and our numbers are rapidly growing. Much of this is due to our communications and intelligence systems, both of which we owe to you. In light of your contributions, I would like to announce your promotion to Special Agent status. I, Salvador Limones of the Lost Souls Alliance, salute you, Manuel Calavera. You are a great ally in this noble revolution. Great news! We've discovered a new secret talent of our tiny messengers. We don't know how they do it, but these mysterious birds can actually find their targets just by looking at a photograph of the addressee. To celebrate, Eva has made them all little berets. I'll send you some pictures. Manuel, I am troubled by reports of you buying the automat and converting it into a nightclub. It's fine for you to be comfortable in Rubalcaba for your long stay, but I pray you haven't lost sight of the larger goals. It is not this world but the next in which our true glory lies.
I just got this one today.
Beware, Manuel, for you are in grave danger. Somehow rumor has spread on the streets of El Marro of your presence in Rubalcaba. If this information reaches Hector Lamans, he surely will send his evil operatives after you. You must give up your search for Mercedes for the time being, and please, be out of Rubalcaba on the next ship.
I think he's exaggerating the danger a little, but I do feel pretty stupid for putting my name on the big sign.
Agent Calavera, I have word that you arrived in Rubalcaba safely. This is great news. I am pleased to report the successful hatching the hatchlings with Salvador Limones.
To sleep. Perchance to have nightmares about spiders and beavers.
When we leave the diner for the last time, there's a sort of a moment with the just kind of a technical and sort of dramatic moment with the music where the music on the radio is playing, and there's going to be a little bit of a cut, and then you go to this cutscene music, which it's supposed to be sort of a seamless break from the game music to the cutscene music, and then the music kind of comes out of the radio, and doesn't sound like it's on a radio anymore. It's the music of people's, dreams and wishes.
No moving furniture when I'm in my tux. Can't. What if Meche makes her big arrival and I sleep through it?
I wish you would slide down the banister, because we put a lot of effort into sliding down that banister. Come on, slide down the banister. I recommend any player who's in this room slide down the banister. It's much faster than walking.
Especially if you're 6 and you don't have terrible consequences when you hit the bottom.
You should not try that at home. Actually, kids, you should. You should go slide down the banister of your house right now.
Everybody's got to do it once.
Looks like Lupe's been in the sugar again.
So these is like scenes are from the production of the game in a way where Leslie would come to me like, look what I made. I made a chart of every single scene in the game plus every single actor, and I coded it. Yellow means Manny's in it, and blue means this prop is in it. And she's so excited about these things that she did, and this character is doing the exact thing.
Yep.
You have to take things from your life and put them in your work, you know, even though they don't read anything to anybody else.
Well, that just means work will be about life rather than life being about work, right?
Exactly.
Evening, Lupe.
Hi, Manny. I have to tell you about my new organizational system for the coats.
Think she'll come in tonight?
Manny, you ask me that every night. What am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say, yes, I think tonight's the night.
Yes, I think tonight's the night that you finally go nuts from waiting for the grand entrance of Ms. Mercedes Colomar.
Let's try that again, shall we? Think she'll come in tonight?
Yes, I think tonight's definitely the night.
Thank you. It's my fault she's out in the woods alone, you know.
If you say so, Manny.
Bogan come in yet?
Yeah, he's down at the casino probably enjoying his usual lucky streak.
How's the flow tonight?
We're dead tonight, Manny. Everybody's back home for the Day of the Dead, I guess. Except for the casino. The casino's hopping. Why is it that all the people who don't go home are the same people who just love to gamble?
Well, I guess when you've got nothing to go home to, you've got nothing to lose.
Hey, we should put that over the door.
Everything okay back in the land of fur and fedoras?
Everything's in order. It's beautiful. I can't wait for people to come in and try the new system. It's so cool. Want to hear about it?
Okay, tell me all the details about your new code check system.
Yay! Okay, I found all these plastic tiles in the back, left over from the automat, and guess what? They all have numbers on them. So what I'm doing is, I give one to everyone who checks a code in and... Manny, you're not even listening to me. I go to all this work organizing your coats, and you don't even care.
Lupe.
Forget it. Don't pretend to care.
No, I want to hear. Please, tell me all about your new code check system, really.
Don't patronize me, Cal.
Okay, back to work.
Okay.
Evening, Lupe.
Hi, Manny.
Okay, back to work.
Okay.
Hola. I guess Glottis is good at anything that uses keys. Quiet night, huh, Carnal?
Day of the Dead ain't good for business, Chief. But last night, remember last night, Manny? Oh, wait!
What's that you're playing?
Oh, this is just a little, love song for a special lady.
You think she'll come in tonight?
Who, my special lady?
No, Meche.
You know what, Manny? I think she will. I got a feeling tonight's the night.
Sing a little bit of that song, why don't you?
Well, I only have this part. Bone wagon.
I like it. You know, when we leave, I'm actually gonna miss this place.
Aw, Manny, why can't we just stay here. We got our fancy club. We got 3 squares a day. Max lets me take the bone wagon out on his kitty track once a week. Plus, we look good in these clothes.
Glottis, I can't live in this world forever. It's not where I belong. I've got to find Meche and help her. Because if it weren't for me, she'd have been on that train a year ago.
Okay, Manny.
Well, I'll let you get back to practicing.
I don't need to practice, man. I'm good.
I remember animating Manny sliding down the banister. And I remember Tim kept calling for something. He's got to look cool. And so I did that, and I don't think he was ever really happy with it. So I don't know. Apparently don't know what cool means.
You got to put some Ray-Bans on him.
Yeah. I mean, Manny's a suave guy, but I don't know if suave guys slide down banisters. Maybe I should have done it slower.
Manny's music, the Casino Calavera music, that was a big moment for me doing the score because it was done fairly early on, and it kind of it determined a lot of other stuff, just sort of stylistically. Mm-hmm. Get that sort of Gene Krupa thing going on in the beginning, and
Gene Krupa,
yeah, one of the great drummers of all time.
Leader, Noir Perrimanque, number 2. 2 is the winner. Your chips, monsieur.
An honest roulette croupier is hard to find, and guys like this, even harder.
This must be my lucky day.
I always want to have a really international flair. I guess because Casablanca was very international. But also I love the game Last Express, the Jordan Meche game, Last Express. You're on a train, and there's a lot of listening to conversations that are not presented at full volume because you're eavesdropping. You're walking down a hallway and you hear someone talking in a room, but they'll often be very quiet, but also sometimes in another language, like French or German or something. Mm-hmm. And just the idea of like overhearing a quietly spoken French conversation was so neat in that game that we tried to have people talking in other languages in here, like that. Mm-hmm. The croupier and the
Mesdames et messieurs, faites vos jeux, s'il vous plaît. Ladies and gentlemen, please place your bets.
Everything okay down here?
I'm going to need some more chips if Monsieur Lucky does not call it a night soon.
Police Chief Bowman, Rubacava's finest. Rubacava's only, for that matter.
Le Trente, Rouge.
You know, some people say you should always walk away from the table when you're on a winning streak.
Oh, yes, but I'm feeling extra lucky tonight.
Terripas, 30, Red.
You know, some people say you should always walk away from the table when you're on a winning streak.
Oh, yes, but I'm feeling extra lucky tonight.